So Meryl, you're playing with your new watch.
Well, no, I'm doing my fitness pal, but yes.
So what do you think of your fabulous new $600 watch?
Fabulous.
It looks really pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's fucked.
What?
Well, look, I haven't got out of bed yet, and I've done 600 what are they called?
Calories.
Calories. On my fitness pal. Bullshit. Look.
So it's now 7:40 in the morning, but it's already given you 550 calories for an exercise that
550?
hasn't yet occurred
No, it
today.
It's supposed to have occurred today, but I've only just got out of bed.
I know,
so.
it's supposed to have
And
occurred
it's
at 11
73.
o'clock today.
But it was on Garmin yesterday,
Right.
and so I have.
So it's got a way of predicting the future, this new
Well,
watch.
I go to the gym, and it's in 2 hours, so it's about a gym session.
Right.
Not
So what's wrong with it being so clever that it can predict what you're going to do? Isn't that
well,
a
it
good
doesn't
thing?
actually know what I'm doing because that says it's cycling.
Okay.
And
All right.
that was done yesterday. It came up on my feed yesterday.
Right.
So-
Now, are there any other issues with this fabulous? I see it looks good.
And it looks
Definitely looks good.
well, it's got some interesting stuff. It's got on here intensity minutes for the day, which is always good because second day. Second day in, I can never tell how many intensity minutes I've done accurately. So now I can. It's on the watch face. Stress is an interesting one. Body battery is an interesting one.
Now, what about
Restoration.
passing the information through to MyFitnessPal?
Oh, no, it doesn't do that. It sends the cycling across, but the squash that we did yesterday, no chance in hell. It just was not there. I had to put it in manually. What the fuck? Plus the squash, an hour's game, and it gave me 281 calories when the time before with this delightfully old one.
Let's have a look at the old one compared to the new one. Just put the two together.
It looks it looks old. It's smaller, it's more compact.
Let's turn it on. Okay. Oh, actually, let's look at the screens. Put the two screens together. Okay. Well, the new one's obviously much brighter and much
And
nicer.
this one's got buttons, so you can go through it.
And look, here's mine, because we got two of them. Here's the old one. Mine's a 735 XT, the old one, and the new one, of course, is this new Venu. You can see that even when it's in its idle mode, the new one is much easier to see. That's lit up now, so you just double tap it and up it comes, looking much better. But
it's got no tennis or squash or any other function that has anything where you change direction quickly. So
and unlike the old watch, as you say, with the old watch, all the information passed through to MyFitnessPal. With this one, since going to the new one, only some of the information goes across.
only cycling.
Okay, and the other thing that you were saying was the the training effect numbers have gone now?
Yeah, they've gone completely. So in here, if I did this, tap on this because this is a real exercise. I've got nowhere to go on this one, so that won't work. Now, if you tap on here, there should be down here a training effect. That tells you how aerobically you went on that.
So that's from the old watch. What was the model of the old watch?
It's a Garmin.
Yeah, but what's the model?
235 Forerunner.
Okay, and mine's a 735 XT Forerunner.
Yeah.
Okay, but now that has disappeared, hey?
Yes.
So let's just summarise here. First of all, we haven't even got to the most important thing. First of all, you don't have the training effect. Not all information flows through to MyFitnessPal, and it has the ability to predict the future event that hasn't yet occurred that you probably won't be doing anyway.
That's right.
And adding all that into your calories.
Yes.
So therefore, as long as you don't mind not having any accurate data.
I'll actually have to delete it off my Fitness Pal at some point today.
Yeah. Well, my beef is actually based on the distance that it calculates.
Oh yeah, that was woeful.
When we looked at our squash distance covered, where we normally do like 1 or 2 kilometres worth of squash for a half an hour or an hour across, we were only getting like 100 metres, 200 metres of distance covered.
I got 239 metres yesterday.
Okay, for what would normally be nearly, which would normally be like 1.5 kilometres or something.
Well, probably 1.8 to 2 kilometres.
Yeah. So we did, just as an exercise, a 10 minutes amount of squash, and what I discovered, and I'll put these up for you to see on the screen, measured, which is quite accurate. That's okay, but it only shows something like 42 metres of distance travelled. The 10 minutes was 235 steps, and it only showed 46 metres of distance travelled. Now my my stride length is 0.85 metres, as you can see. So if you multiply the 335 steps by 0.85 metres, you get about 280 metres of distance travel, which would be correct. Instead, it only gave 40. Now that means it's only giving you about 15% of the distance covered, or 1/7 of the correct.
Whereas the old watches counted every step.
Counted every step. Now, what I did yesterday is I contacted the Garmin support people and spoke to a guy that was quite helpful, a fellow called Shannon, I think his name was, from the Garmin support, and explained all these issues. My issue, most important for me, was the distance thing, and I explained it all to him. So he couldn't figure it out at the time, so he actually then spoke to one of their geeks, their watch geeks at a higher level, and came back with this mouthful of BS, saying that when it's indoors and it doesn't have the GPS, the motion sensors are not designed to give you an accurate reading, and therefore you won't get correct. Right, now, the first problem with that was the motion sensors count the number of steps. It did count the correct number of steps. What it didn't do correctly was multiply that 335 steps by the 0.85, a very simple primary school arithmetic exercise, which would have given it the right distance. So it's not about not being able to count the steps correctly, as the guy told him. Now, it wasn't Shannon's fault. He had to give me the mouthful of BS that he'd been given. Even he didn't sound particularly convinced about it, but I guess that's his job to do that, so I'm not blaming him. But to try and fob me off with some load of crap that the new watch, the $600 new watch that's replacing...
This was on sale.
Yeah, replacing the older ones, has somehow degraded its ability to count the steps compared to the old models, and therefore it's an inferior step counting device compared to the previous models, is just insulting to my intelligence to think that I'll just go away and go, oh yeah, that's fine.
But surely people who they know that people who buy a Garmin know that it's going to be accurate. That's one of the reasons.
Well, apparently they don't care. Apparently, as long as it's got a pretty face and it looks good, people. And this is the thing that I thought was weird. This watch has been out for a couple of months now, and I think his name was Shannon, was kind of surprised that this problem had occurred, as though no one else cares about the actual activity it measures.
For a couple of months.
Well, from America, I don't know how long it's been out here, but it's a couple of months. Anyway, and so people apparently don't care about the activity. As long as the face looks good, no one gives a shit whether it's counting the right information except us. Now, I thought that was a bit of a stretch to believe that we're the only ones who've noticed that the activity information and the future prediction bullshit that it's doing is never been discussed before. I think that's really weird. Anyway, so what he's going to do is he's going to escalate the problem, get the people on the other side of the world to look into it and get back to me. Now, hopefully, I'll be able to do a second video that explains how all these things have been rectified and that it is a good product. But right at the moment, there's no way I could recommend $1,200 worth of watches between us is a good buy.
No.
Anyway, so that's our little beef for today. We're just having a bit of a rant. If this is the first time that you've seen our channel, maybe you just found us because it was about the new Garmin Venu, go back and have a look at some of the other stuff we've done. We've got a lot of good stuff on fitness and training and various things, because Meryl, you're a trainer yourself, and so go back and have a look at some of that other stuff on our previous videos. And hopefully there'll be a part 2 to this, which is that we're happy and everything's been fixed. Otherwise, I'm sorry, but these watches are going back. There's no point in spending $1,200 on a watch that only looks pretty and doesn't do the activity correctly. Hey.
That's right.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys.